Okay, so look what came in the mail today. There's no tracking number or anything like that. I didn't get a tracking number from email or anything like that, but it arrived. So it's the Kickstarter 3-pack Spawn Trilogy assortment. This is by McFarlane Toys, and let's open it up. Alright, so once you take out the outer box, there's another box. There are 3 boxes now. One is the artist proof, one is the traditional, and one is the modern Spawn, I think. Yeah, okay, so it does say here artist proof, modern Spawn, and then here's the autograph. So let's open the autograph one first. Alright, so once you take it out, this is the black box with the red Spawn on it, and I believe this is a sleeve, so let me remove that. Alright, so once you remove the sleeve, this is what you get, and I'm opening it for the first time, so I am as excited as you guys are. So let's open this up. How do I open this up? That's right. So you pull this apart, and then in here, first we have the Masterwork Certificate of Authenticity, right there, 2020, and then we have the checklist. This is supposed to be the checklist that tells you all the accessories you're gonna get from McFarlane Toys. Put those away for now. And then there's a layer of foam. And then here it is. We have Spawn figure. And up above it, I can show you guys, we have a gold autograph Todd McFarlane plaque right there. And some of the accessories. So, wow, pretty cool. Okay, so let's show you the Todd McFarlane autograph again. Pretty nice. And gold lettering. This is my first Todd McFarlane autograph, so I'm very excited about that. And then comes with a couple of weapons. And then we have the head, the open mouth head, pizza head. And then we have some effect pieces. This is one, and then there's a blade here, and then there's the figure, and this is a clamshell packaging, and it is resealable, so that's awesome. And the bag, you can see there's a red foil Spawn #1 issue. Kind of cool. Very, very cool. Alright, so I just took everything out. First, again, we have the comic book, and it is in the sleeve, so you could remove that without damaging it, and you could put it back in and store it back in the box without any issues whatsoever. And then there's the figure right here. It looks very impressive. There is something I don't like about it. I'll tell you guys in a second. And then here's his weapon. Here's a rifle. And then again, here's that crazy looking mace. And then an alternate head. Screaming Spawn. And then the fresh pieces. And then it comes with a tiny base. Record setting action figure. Spawn. 1994 to 2021. Wow. And then we have 4 extra hands. Right here. So let's take a look at the figure itself again. Here's the figure again. Really pretty, and one thing I don't like, pretty much the only thing I don't like, it's the crotch piece right here. It's painted poorly. Look at that, red with black. Yeah, it didn't turn out great. It actually turned out pretty bad. You could clearly see the color difference between the torso, the abdominal section, and the crotch section. That one's a lot brighter than the body itself. Everything else looks really nice except for that crotch piece. There's no shading whatsoever. Look at the cape has shading too. There's some black shading all around. And ooh, there's some paint bleeds here too. Wow. Pretty bad actually. Yeah. And ooh, for the most part, look at that. The hands, I mean, you could totally see color separation here, but that's shading they added. But yeah, that crotch piece does stand out quite a bit because there's no weathering on it, and everything else has weathering except for that piece. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. For the most part, I think the paint job turned out okay, not the greatest. You could definitely see paint bleeds quite a bit on this figure. Actually, it's pretty bad. Look at that, the chest area right there is paint bleed again, and yeah, quality is actually not that great, not that impressive. And this is supposed to be the flagship figure too. And here's the cape. The cape does look very impressive. You can see shading, and there are hinges on it too, so you could kind of get the cape to close up and open up. While I'm at it, might as well show off articulation. And again, there's the hinge right here. So let me see. Let me close up those hands first. And I believe I'm supposed to be able to close it up kind of like that. So I don't know how far this piece is supposed to go in. Again, I am only messing this right now because I have not looked at this beforehand, so I'm just doing it so you guys are seeing it. So this side doesn't open up, doesn't close that much. This side closes a little bit more, which is kind of cool, but I guess it's pretty much like this. But I think for the most part I'll just leave it open. It's kind of cool, have it open. And then as far as head articulation, let's see. There's a, let me zoom in. Oh, there. Manual focus. Okay, then let's see, head articulation. Head is on a ball joint. It can look up and down quite a bit. And then base of the neck, there's another joint there. There seems to be another ball joint there. So yeah, full range of motion for the head movement. And then shoulders on ball hinge joints. The cape is not removable, so it is kind of limited as far as range of motion for the shoulders because of that. But I'm not going to fault them for this because that's the design of Spawn. So I think that is pretty much enough how far it could spread out. And then, so not 360 movement, but good amount. And then bicep, there is a swivel, a little tight, but it's there. And then there's a hinge joint on the elbow. It's a single joint hinge, but it does rotate too. So that's cool, side to side. And then there's a hinge joint around the wrist. So yeah, pretty cool. And then as for the torso, nothing around the chest section. The waist, there is a ball joint there. And then the legs on those ratcheting joints. If you have any of the other Spawn figures from the recent line, the Mortal Kombat Spawn, then you're pretty much getting the same articulation there. Oh, the thigh does rotate. Good. Double jointed knees. Chances of you doing this is pretty slim. I think most people are just going to have them standing, and then right here there's a cut joint, and then there's a hinge joint around the ankle, and then it does pivot left and right. So, I mean, he looks gorgeous just standing here. Spawn. Zoom out a little bit. Look at that. You can just have him like this, and I think it's pretty awesome. Just like this. I mean, you can mess with the hands a little bit, give him a little more of a cooler pose or something. I mean, you can mess around with it all day with this guy. I think he's going to give you some really interesting poses. I mean, settle, not like dynamic poses, but little minute poses. But if you're photographing him, I think he's gonna look fantastic. And then the chain here is metal. I'm not a... I wish they have done these chain in square shape instead of just regular oval. I think in the comics they're supposed to be more of a squarish than just round shape, than oval shape. But I could be wrong, but it does look pretty cool with a metal chain instead of just plastic piece there. And there's the screaming piece of face. Really nice. I think it turned out great. And I suggest heating up the base of the head first before you pop that in, because the peg, I'll remove the head and show you guys the peg system. Here's the peg situated in the torso, and you can see it's a rigid piece. It doesn't move. I'm not sure whether it's gonna soften up if you heat it. It might. I'm not sure, but I don't suggest you do that. So that's why I suggest you heat up the head first, because you don't want that piece to break off since it doesn't move. So I would suggest heating the head, and then so it's easier for you to pop that piece of head on there. And just like all the other Spawn figures, if you shine a black light on it, you will see the eyes really pop, and they're like on fire, and the mouth also. There are some green painted on there. It's kind of cool. If you have a black light, yeah, shine it onto your Spawn figure. Even the Mortal Kombat version of Spawn, just shine a black light on it, you'll see what's going on. It's very cool. Okay, so I have to move on to the next one now. The previous version I showed you guys was the classic, and this is the modern. And there's the box. It's green this time around, and on the side, I forgot to show previously, there's the side. It's on some sort of foil print on it, kind of nice. Alright, then once you remove the sleeve, you see the logo, and then this time it's green, and then you open it the same way as you did the previous version, and there's you see a couple of weapons and then some effect pieces, and then this time you have the Alcemon head sculpt, and the figure is housed right there. Alright, so here we have the modern Spawn, and accessories wise, it's the base is identical, and then different hands, well, same hands, just painted differently. And then we have the Alcemon head sculpt, and then a different weapon, same mace, and then we have a dagger. I think this is the Batman dagger from that Spawn version of Batman. And then here's the effect piece, there's the figure, and there's the comic. It's just a different cover of the first one, issue 1. This time is in green foil. And since articulation and sculpt are all the same, just with different accessories and a different paint job, I'm just gonna show you guys, and I'm not gonna go for articulation for this one. This is a different pizza head, so that's neat. And then the body's painted differently. It's missing the red this time around. I think it looks better without the red. And the crotch piece is definitely better now. With this one, the leg is different. This one has that cast on, whatever this thing is called. Right there, pretty cool. And then also has metal chain. And with the pizza head, there is no head articulation. Base of the neck, there's a joint there, but you can't really turn his head either, because if you turn his head to the other side, you can clearly see how it's breaking on the bottom right there. So with this head sculpt, he is meant to only look at this angle, and that's it. Let me see if I shiny. Ooh, those eyes. They do pop quite a bit. So again, try black light on your Spawn figure, and you'll see his eyes pop. And here's a look at the Al Simmons head sculpt. Really nice, and this one is articulated. So head, there is a rotation for the head. Not a whole lot of movement though, because the neck is just so thick. But here's a good look at that head sculpt of Al Simmons. And lastly, we have the artist proof version right there. Okay, and the artist proof version, I am not even going to take it out of the box. I mean, I took it out of the clamshell, but I'm just going to show you guys here. Detailing is definitely better. You could definitely see some detailing on the face, which I didn't see before, since this one's not painted, so you could really see a lot of details on this figure here. And then the chains are, this time around, is silver instead of gold. And then it comes with different effect piece right there. And then hands wise, they're exactly the same. And then the base is a little different. It's not the same color. It doesn't have that green on it anymore. And the cape is all gray. And then with this one, it comes with the sword right there. But this one's not painted. It kind of sucks. I kind of like that sword. And then that mace again. And then we have the dagger, which is in green plastic. And then the screaming pizza head. And here's what the screaming pizza head looks like without paint on it. Pretty interesting. Oh, right there. And the comic has a chrome finish. That's neat too. So one last time, here's the artist proof version with all the accessories. And here are all three issue number 1. As you can see, this one and this one is the same. Just one is not painted and one is painted. And this one has silver foil, while this one has green foil. And this one has red foil. And just like that, I got him back in the box. Quite nice. So, and here are the other two again. And we have the classic on the left, and then the modern on the right. So, yeah, there you go. So that was all three of them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.